These are the materials I used for the experiment. For part A, container A contains boiled water and oil, B, salt water, C, air, and D, baking soda that is well covered. For part B, container E contains dishwashing liquid, F with vinegar, G with water, mixed with bleach, and H with distilled water. For part C, container I contains nail with salt water, J nail wrapped in plastic film, K nail painted, and L coated with oil. So I'm going to be leaving this for a few days. After a few days, these are the results. For part A, despite the down layer on top of the water, the nail was able to rust due to the air particles left of the water. There were a lot of more visible rust in container B. Despite the oil layer on top of the water, the nail was able to rust due to the air particles left at the water before it was covered in oil. There were a lot of more visible rust in container B, which would mean the salt and the water acted as a catalyst for the rusting process. Container C, since there isn't any exposure to water, the nail still stayed the same. There weren't any visible changes towards the nail, but the baking soda, besides the little amount of black particles, which might be because of the lack of moisture. For part B, the dishwashing soap has corroded the nail, which would explain the rust in black particles that it does produce. The vinegar also helps in stopping the rust formation on the nail. The bleach mixture instantly produces the results of producing rust in a very short time. In container H, the nail subjected to distilled water, which were distressed as a result of the oxygen and the water reacting. For part C, salt water also produced a lot more rust due to the salt speeding of the rusting process. Despite the plastic wrap, rust still managed to form inside the wrap, which might be due to the water leaking or the moisture inside might have been enough to form rust. The paint helped stop the rusting of the painted side. The tip of the nail was exposed to the water and produced a little bit of rust. For the oil coating, there is a significantly lesser amount of rust compared to the one without the coat. The oil may have prevented the water, iron, and air from reacting directly.